There we go. Hello again. Well, I said hello and the cats heard me, that's for sure. So yes, the cats are extremely nearby. Kato is right here and Casper is right here. They're being super cute. They love my new setup with the couch because then they can sprawl out and also cuddle up at the same time and, makes them pretty happy. So, well, welcome everybody to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official Lotro Twitch stream channel, which is twitch.tv/Lotro stream. I noticed that Cordovan always opens with that, so I'm like, okay, sure, I can do that with mine too, with my stream. Why not? So I'm Little Redhead, and I am playing as one of my happy hobbits here, Rosenbloom, on the Treebeard server. So let's see, what are we doing? I had to close the doors because the neighbor's got a dog, and between the dog and the kids, it gets a little noisy, but oh, there she goes. But it means that we don't get as much fresh air coming through during my stream, which is, I guess, okay, because by the time my stream and then before streams are over, it turns from, day to night. So I guess it's okay to go ahead and pre-close the doors, but sometimes I miss the fresh air. We got these gorgeous, like, wide open sliding doors now, so we can just like open everything. I love it. So oh yeah, Kissed Chaos says, I haven't seen you since the hair recolor. It's a great look on you. Thank you. I was definitely going for more of a kind of a purple. That was my intention. But they're pointing at things and going, you want this color, you want this color. I was like, how about that one? And they're like, maybe a little bit of this. I was like, yeah, sure. So we definitely got a lot more like burgundy. But yeah, that's okay. It's kind of funny because there's sometimes I see it in a certain light and I'm like, that's kind of coppery and that's really close to like a color that used to actually be on my head at points in my life, like naturally. So it's really funny that it just kind of is like heading that direction. I'm getting a haircut on Friday though, so it'll be a little bit shorter, but I don't want to get it too short because I don't want to show all the color that's not there because my hair is growing, which is, that's good news. It's always good news when things are happening that are supposed to be happening. But I kind of want to leave it long because then I can cover up the two different colors that my hair is now. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's an adventure that will definitely take me through the summer, and then we'll see. I'll probably dye it again in the fall, but maybe like to get me over the winter, maybe something a bit lighter, like a light pink or like a pastel kind of color, because my hair is definitely lighter. And I'm thinking with a pastel color, maybe it'll blend in a little bit more, and then my growing out won't be as obvious. So yeah, things to learn, right? So what are we doing? And I apologize. I've had allergies again really bad lately. So we'll do the cough drop thing and see if that stops me from being too nasally. But where are we? So festival, the anniversary festival turned into the festival that never ends for a little while. Because with all of the new servers and transfers that were happening, and then there was glitches and all these sorts of things that were happening in Lotro, with like the back end of stuff, not like the characters. They kept extending the festival, which was great. I really appreciated that because there was times when it was complicated to get in, or at one point the wrapper was messed up and I didn't want to do anything during the messed up wrapper time. So, we just kind of waited for that to be passed. So yeah, so I appreciated that it was extended a few times. But it was really long in the end. So finally it is over. I have a beetle. I don't think I want a beetle. Let me get rid of that. So we don't have festival going on right now. Now, funny enough, and I meant to look this up actually right before I got on. Let me go check it out here. So I'm gonna go look at the Lotro schedule, which is the public event schedule. Yes, please. Might be able to hear the dog. That's with the windows closed. Crazy thing. Let's see. Treebeard went up. Ba-bum. I'm getting distracted. Midsummer Festival begins on the 19th. Actually, I think I might put that into our little kinship blurb. That the Midsummer Festival begins June 19. And then when is the next time that Treebeard goes up? Let's find out. We just went up to 115 for our cap, which is Mordor and Northern Mirkwood. And then, let's see, cap increase to 120 happens, it's called Where Dragons Dwell, and Vales, just a second, and do in, and that is November 5. Cool, so all of that. And we're going to set that as our kinship message of the day. So yes, so Midsummer Festival begins June 19th, which is in 2 weeks and 2 days. Now I am going to miss a couple of weeks of streaming, the 24th of June and probably the 1st of July. We'll see. Oh, they're beating on our planter again. We have a metal planter out front, and it's next to some other things belonging to the neighbors. And so there's one of the kids has found some sticks and is like beating on all the metal things. And you know what? If they do that instead of playing drums in the house, I guess, I can work with that. But it's kind of funny. It's like we hear ding, 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 ding. Let's see. So before it says we haven't gotten there in the story yet, but I'm unsure how one gets from Mordor to Dale without going through the Vales of Anduin. It'll be fun. All right. So I'm going to start with. Uh-oh, I can't move. That's interesting. I did have a disconnect happen the other day. It was unexpected, but it could happen. Well, while we're waiting, I'll check my Hobbit gift. Why not? It's so funny because every so often, yeah, that's not. I think I'm about to disconnect. Every so often they talk about trying to redo the Hobbit gifts, and because as it stands, you can kind of see right there, like, here's what a silver should be. It could be a basic supply, or a buff, or a boost, or some gear, or a legendary gift box, which gives you like 500 virtue XP or things like that. And then the gold could be advanced supplies. Oh, there we are. Hang on a second. We'll give that a minute to catch up. Anyway, so the advanced, like, one of the things you might be able to get is like 200 mithril coins, which is really cool. It's kind of rare. Honey, is this where you're saying, like, if I just go ahead and start up a new, if I log in again now, it's okay? Or not yet?
It could be trying to write to the configuration files, and that's where it'll be like, oh, I couldn't find them. I guess we'll start from scratch.
Oh, so I probably want to wait.
Yeah, or kill it with the task manager.
If I do that, will it still write to the files?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine, he says. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I still know the other one. Yeah. Control Alt Delete is how I get to Task Manager. It's not. That's a little bit lit up. Okay. All right, we look good there. So let's try that again. I've had so many knitting and crocheting and crafting projects. I'm trying to work my way through them. So I'm feeling like a small sense of accomplishment because we're starting to make progress. Yes, that's true. Before it says the danger of streaming with our completionist characters, there are long log out times. Because the thing is it needs to write everything to file, and there's a lot of things to write to file with you when you're completionist characters, because it's doing all the quests and all the deeds. That's a lot of stuff. And apparently Severlin has said something like behind the scenes about how they're both handled in kind of the same way as far as the programming is concerned, which is to say it takes a while. When the game was created, they didn't expect it was going to, get this big. So it wasn't exactly, well, and plus this is 20-year code, so I don't know if they could have scaled for it. Who knows? But anyway, we'll get back in here. So our plan today is that we're going to go off to Noon, which is the ranger camp that's hidden in the in a cave. Hey, this looks way better because I can see you. I'm gonna go ahead and make you the leader because that makes me happy. Oh, I wonder if it saved our kinship thing. Aww. The kinship word of the day. Thing of the day didn't save. Okay, so when did I say the festival has happened? Treebeard Cap is information there. When did I say the festival was? That's not.
Midsummer.
It's not there.
Midsummer 19.
Thank you. June 19. And tree cap. There. That's fine. That'll be fine. Okay, we have updated our kinship message of the day now. Hooray! Okay, we'll go ahead and pick up our package now. Hey, I got one of those heritage runes, which can come in really handy when you're trying to work on your legendary item reward track, and you're like, I just need a little bit more, because we were really pushing it at the end of the last one. It was a while. Okay, so yes, working on herbalism. So, are you ready to go? I have stuff in rows. What's going on? Do you know why this is like this?
Just tough for you to look at later. Don't worry about
Okay. It's not like the way I do it. So,
it. It just, bound to counts.
N. Guide to Noon. So we've been there. We've been running in and out of there. And so that's why I have already gotten the hunter guide. And I can take us there. Funny thing is sometimes I have a guide to and a return to the same place, and I sometimes click the wrong one and end up going by myself, and everybody else is standing around going, well, how are we going to get there? Alright, so I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of quests here. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze, but I didn't. Okay. Picking up a bunch of quests. And now we are out in some areas where things are like level 105 or something. I see you looking out there, but we're not going that way. That way is death. It's rainy. Okay, so should we go up the path here? So to get out, we have to go up this path. If you go out and jump out by the waterfall, it's too far. You land, and it is not a successful death. It's not a successful jump. It is a successful death. There you go. Okay, so a couple things we need to do. We're going to pick up some fertile soil. Sorry, put things in fertile soil. Pick up scarn. Occasionally. Pick up some branches when we see those. Here's some more fertile soil. So, the herbalists are basically, they're like they want us to help make the place, better. It's been, diseased and whatnot, and a bit overrun. And so we're trying to, get seeds back into the area and pick up seeds that we can use to then be planted in the future, things of that sort. So that way, if the war comes to a successful conclusion for our side, for the free peoples, then we'll have a place that's productive and possibly can grow food and all sorts of good stuff. So that's what this series of quests is about. Is about trying to kind of prepare the place for the future. And it's lovely. We've got, these lovely rolling hills and prowlers. So one of the quest chains that we followed before that took us into this area is there's a woman who is learning herbalism from one of the masters at Minas Tirith. And he has some kind of old school ideas and doesn't necessarily, know everything. But being out here, she has learned a few things. And one of the things that has come up is there's patches of moss that have shown up. You can see some of it, like right there, on these stone trolls. And they seem to have a special property to them, which is useful. Let's see, a gift from the enemy. So let's see. Oops, we're being attacked by a toad. I was trying to remember the show history. There we go. Right, they harvested this moss, and they found out they were able to extract it into a healing potion. So they want us to collect more of it, and then they can make it into healing potions. Okay, so now we're going to take a side trek to Camp of the Host. So let me guide us there rather than return us there, because return would not be an us. Gandalf here has a quest. Oh, sorry, Mithrandir. He's Gandalf. So we grab a quest from him. And this is still in the area. We're still in the region. So we're here, and previously we were North Athelion. So it's all in the area. You can see we're just going south into North Athelion here. So see, we're back into the greeny landscape. And I didn't realize it, but that field we just were at, well, we'll be back there in a minute. After the ring is done. Oh, hang on, we gotta go in here and do some stuff. We'll be back. Yeah, we'll go back to the field of Cormalin in a minute. First, we have to pick up some ranger supplies. And there might be some orcs in here we need to clear out. Affidal's really good at that. Oh, we got another route to take out. Wow, there's actually chit-chat in the world chat. On Treebeard. There's not as many people on Treebeard these days. When it first opened, there were quite a few people. Well, because Anor and Ithil, oops, were the legendary servers. Wait, which one is this? There's so many quests here, I can't tell which is which. Yeah, let me just remove them all from my tracker. Okay. Well, as soon as we get a... There we go. As soon as I get some more supplies, it'll show up again. Hi. There we go. Now I have 6 of 8. Cool. Oh, she got 2 of them. 3 of them. Alright. So these are repeatable quests that we are doing. And what they are giving to us is reputation with Host of the West, I think? Sorry. And then also they give us these baskets. Let me see if I haven't got one yet. No, I don't have one yet. Once I turn in a quest or 2, we'll have some baskets. Oh, do I just take us out? No, we're blocking out, aren't we? Yep, okay. Retaking Tarngroth. Tarngroth. What about the Grip of Mordor? You get this quest that pops up for defeat 20 things, and you end up defeating like 17 on your way through here, just because, you know, that's how, just to get to the boxes. So it's like, it's still hanging around there as you're making your way out. Although amusing, we might have gotten to by there. Because they do start to respawn by the time you're leaving.
Yeah, you definitely finish off by the time you take out the fire starters, but meantime it just deletes my map.
Sure. All right, so we're mounting it. So we're wearing these like bright colored baking outfits from the anniversary festival, because it makes us really stand out in the like dark areas of Mordor that we're doing. So it's been fun. They are funny outfits. Okay. Oh, wow, you got a couple of birds following you. Wow, you got everybody following you. Holy crap. Let's see. Oh, for heaven's sake. I was trying to shoot at the group that was by you, and it kept pointing to the one next to me. I'm like, no, I don't want the one next to me. I want the one next to you. There we go. Oh, that's not the warband, though.
Yeah. That was a war band.
No, the one that has the frog?
No,
Yeah.
That's the very end.
There's a warband out in this sort of part of the world. And it has a potential, very small potential, to drop a frog, a cosmetic pet, out of the box. So every time we come out here, Alphadel's like, we're going over there, we're going to check for the frog. But no success yet. Okay, that is number 8 for me. Anyway, so we're talking about servers. So the original Lotro legendary servers were Anor and Ithil. And when they got to Life's End, which was basically the same level as what the live servers were, I always find that a weird way to describe it. Live server, like, they're live too. They're just not, non-VIP servers. Anyway, because you have to be a subscriber to play on the legendary servers. So you have to be, like a monthly, yearly subscriber, whatever. Yeah, standard servers. There we go. I like that better. Thanks, before. Tome of the Marsh Frog from the warband The Lone Hunter in the Dead Marsh. That's what we're trying to get, because Affodil really wants that.
I would be happy sad if it drops for you.
Do you think it's bound?
Uh,
It might not be, because I think people have been... if that's the same frog, I've heard that people who've gotten it will sometimes sell it in the auction house for, like, ridiculous
yeah,
prices.
I give 1,000 gold for that.
You might have to go to another server for that.
Fair.
But,
Your character is not bound.
yeah. So there you go. If any of you are on Treebeard and you ever get the Tome of the Marsh Frog, let Affodil know. And maybe he'll take it off your hands for a silly amount of gold. Or a baker's hat. I mean, next year. Now, I don't think I did it on this server. I do have like one of those gift boxes. I think I had one extra. Oops, mountain lion. Another place to get the frog?
No,
Oh.
it's a little turtle.
Oh. There's a turtle dropper somewhere.
I'll have to go try that.
Okay.
Let's go down to the fields of Cormallen.
Oh yeah. So we're going down to the fields of Cormallen. This is where after the hobbits make it to Mount Doom and the ring gets destroyed. Spoilers. I'm not saying how it gets destroyed.
Shattered.
Yes, it's devastated. It's like they're like, you basic. Like, oh, I'm so done. Oops, I shot at something. Sorry. I'll just keep following you. Watch out for that prowler behind you. Here we are. So this is the fields of Cormallen, right? So they in the story, after that, they're all recovering and they come here and you have a few interactions with various people around here. And for reals, I was almost done. All right. So I didn't realize it was the same place until before pointed that out the other day. I was like, yeah, they set up a whole bunch of tents in that kind of instance that you wander through and have chats with various people. But it is kind of like peaceful and serene kind of feeling. So that's really cool. So I do like that about this place. So that was nice to be like, oh, this is that place. Okay. So what we're doing is we're picking up piles of seeds, and there's like 3 different kinds of seeds that we're picking up piles of. So we've got vetchling seeds, horsetail seeds, and oxlip seeds. And we're picking up piles of those 3 different kinds. There's also these tree toppers where we're getting some very special sap out of these particular trees. And they've set up the tree sappers, and we just have to go and do the collection. So that's handy. But yeah, out here on this field is where you find all your seeds that you're looking for, which is cool. Now, and then sometimes in the wild you'll see the actual things like the oxlip and whatnot. We're not stopping to pick those up right now. Now, if you're out here running around by yourself, you totally should pick up all that stuff. Why not? But I'll show you. Actually, I can show you. If I try and pick this up. Oh, okay. If I pick it up by myself, boom, it just goes straight into my inventory. All right, so go ahead and, yeah. So now if I pick one up while I'm in a fellowship, here's what it does. It shows what's in there, and so you like double click on it, and it's like, are you sure you want to do this? It will bind it to you, and you say yes, and then it goes into your inventory. So it's a little bit more of a process.
It's possible there's some loot rule that we haven't that we could adjust.
That's fair. Before is thinking maybe there's a loot rule that we could adjust that would stop it from doing that, but We haven't played around with that to see if that would work or not. Anyway, so we're out here picking up the seeds, but not necessarily the stuff that grew from those seeds. So, so we're on the Treebeard server, which after Anor and Ithil closed, technically Ithil closed before Anor. There's a whole story there. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's neither here nor there. Seeds. But then as Anor was closing, basically people who had been playing on Anor had either, and the level increase on these legendary servers, the idea is that it's slow progression. So instead of being like, server is open, everything from 0 to 150 is available, whole world is available, they do it in a much slower release. So when the world first opens, it goes to like 50. So all the areas of Eriador that went up to level 50, and that's it. But then after a period of time, they'll add on the next area. That's the next level. And so they slowly are increasing the range. Hang on a second. Hi, Sandy. My allergies are really bad again today. I apologize. But the cats are being really cute. I'm going to have to redo my cat cam situation at some point because they keep sleeping over here next to me. So maybe if we put a camera nearby, maybe, we would actually capture them again. Because they quit sleeping, where they were. So the cat cam was no longer relevant for its location. I saved you. Yes, before says, fortunately, the pollen is the only exciting thing going on in the Netherlands today. I mean, we also had a handyman come and make make a cabinet for us. That was pretty cool. Speaking of cabinets, so there's this how do I explain this in a short way? In the Netherlands, the way the government works is it's a coalition of parties. It's not just like one party usually that like runs the national government. So those they get together and they're like, okay, we're gonna do things. But if like at some point something happens and one of those groups in the coalition says, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, then the coalition falls and the government falls. But then it doesn't it's not like anarchy. There's nothing going on. Like there's still people running things. They just have to start all over and we do new elections and everything. So we did have a handyman over today and there was stuff going on and I heard a noise upstairs, like something, crashing. And a few minutes later, before he's like, hey, did you hear the cabinet fell? And I was like, yeah, I wondered what that noise was. He's like, no, the Dutch government. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that. I actually had already heard that, but it was kind of funny. So anyway, so there's your amusement of the day. But yes, that and allergies are the big news, I suppose. Actually, allergies are big news here because a week or two ago, because it's been really bad allergy season this year, it was in the news. That was pretty fun. Okay, so over on Anor, some people wanted the increases of those levels to go faster, and it was coming around about every 4 months that SSG was releasing the next region on Anor. And some people wanted it to go faster than that. And because they would just be like, they would wait for the next level to open, and then they would like have a bunch of quests piled up, and they would just turn them all in at the same time. And so they would go from like 110 to 105 in one day, like maybe in a couple hours, because they just like boom, 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 turn it all in, and then they're there. But and then they would play like whatever those cap level instances are, but they'd do that for like, you know, a couple of weeks or a month, and then they'd be bored. I am at 6 out of 9, thank you. So so those groups, those folks, the people who were of that style of playing, were very much like, hey, SSG, can you not just release these a lot faster? Because, you know, now we're waiting around for 3 months and there's nothing to do. But then you have other people like us who are playing at a much more relaxed pace and are more completionist and wanted to do all the quests and do all the questing and, you know, really immerse ourselves into what's going on at that capped level. So, you know, the cap would go up after 4 months and we're like, whoa, 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 we're not ready. We haven't had enough time, because we're coming on, like, say, once a week, questing for a series of hours with our kinship. And then during the week, not, you know, questing without our kinfolk. So it was really kind of a two different styles, you know, in conflict of, and SSG is like listening to this, and both sides have some very vocal people about them. Myself kind of included, because every time somebody would say something like in Cordovan's chat, be like, we need to go faster. I'm like, no, 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 we need to go slower. You know, so there was a bit of that. So we noticed that SSG then opened up 2 new legendary servers after Anor and Ithil, and those were Shadowfax and Treebeard. So, or as I call them, the Zoom Zoom and Hroom Hroom servers. So, okay, let me grab this. So the, oh hey, more moss, woohoo! So yeah, the Shadowfax server had their levels go up every 2 months. So they could, you know, save up, get their quests, be ready to go. Server gets to the next level. They've got, you know, if they go zooming through it and turn in a whole bunch of stuff right away, then they've got only a month to wait for the next one, right? Oh, no, I do not have any bushes to unburn. Interesting. Check the quest.
You have it. Let's wander around it.
Oh, now it is.
You gotta engage with the
How interesting. Okay. We have some bushes that are on fire and we gotta put them out.
It was smoldering.
Smoldering bushes. There we go.
That one was.
It's so cute. The cats are laying here and they're kind of faced each other, and Casper's legs are out, so they're actually, he's like got his foot in Gato's face, but she didn't seem to care. Which is, I'm impressed.
Yeah, we could set the camera.
I think we totally should. I think after we're a little bit less in the middle of construction zone, we should totally set up the camera like on the couch there, and I'll just be committed to having the couch here. Yeah, until we change it up again. Oh, there's a bear. Yo, bear. Anyway, so yeah, Shadowfax, they did their 2 months, and they are done. They got to the end of everything already. And so what SSG tends to do is when a legendary server reaches the same level as the standard servers, we'll go with that wording. The undead servers. They go ahead and close the server, and you can transfer off. And luckily, because the coding is unique for the legendary servers, that you're able to transfer to either the US or the EU servers, you know, that cluster. But once you pick a cluster, you're stuck there. So you have to kind of think your way through that. you know, where do you want to go? So we were able to transfer off our Nora characters, which was nice. And then we started on Treebeard because we really do like this slower progression. And so, yeah, so we're now up to 105 is our current. Oh, sorry, 115. 105 was our cap. 115 is our current cap.
Did you get 5 out of?
I have 5. I have doused 5 burning bush flamey thingies. And 1 burning mountain lion. Indeed. Okay, cool beans. So where was I going next with this? Yeah, we just went up to 115. And the standard servers are at like 115. I think they're going up to 160 this fall, maybe. So we have a little while still. I think at one point I figured it was going to be like 2027 or 2028 when Treebeard caught up. It was really funny because we were purchasing one of the expansions, like Fate of Gundabad, I think it was, while we're on Treebeard. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be 3 to 4 years before we actually play this. So that was kind of funny. But we have it for when we're ready. So at least there's that. And we got all the goodies. I mean, that's the fun part for me. Like, I want all the mounts and the pets and the outfits and things. Because sometimes I find some mounts that I really enjoy out of these expansions. And so I was glad to have that. Oops. I was trying to click on the bush and clicked on the goat. I guess so. I'm attacking the burning bush. Rawr. I'm trying to defeat it. It works with the animals. Hey, there's another one. Next to a hawk. Oh, the hawk didn't see us. We'll be very quiet. Wah! Oops, wrong thing. Before it says, hawks hate this one weird trick. That's funny. Yeah, so I'm gonna grab these branches while you deal with that guy. Thank you. But then in the middle of Treebeard, so probably, well, I think we were in the 105 region, maybe the one up to 100 or 95. They opened up 2 other new servers because we'd been going for a few years by this point. And they opened up, I was going to say Affodil. That's not the name of the server. Thank you. Angmar and Mordor. They are 64-bit servers. And since August of last year. Yeah, that'd be right then. That we would have only been 1 or 2 expansions from where we are right now.
Yeah,
It would have been 2 expansions ago.
Western, yeah, Gondor, or 100.
So we were in Gondor up to 100. Okay, cool, thanks. So yeah, so we were like a max of 100 server cap. And yeah, that's when they opened up Angmar and Mordor. So all the servers up to that point had been 32-bit servers. But those 2 are 64-bit. And the idea was they wanted to test out how they perform, you know, once they go into actual production, as opposed to the testing they had been doing on their own. So they open those up as legendary servers, so they have the slow progression. They hadn't said exactly how often it would go up, and it seems like I think it is doing about every 3 to 4 months, something like that. Between 3 to 5 months, I think, is what they're hitting. I haven't been paying as close of attention, actually. So
December and April.
August, December, and April is what before is saying. So was that?
45.
So 4 to 5 months. Okay. we're defeating these fire starters. That's a very specific kind of orc that we're after. Maybe they were the ones making those bushes be on fire in the first place. So they're in this area, and we just have to kind of find them in the middle of everything else. Excuse me. Yeah, it's so funny. The allergies really come and go. Like, I'll have hours where I don't notice it at all, and then there'll be times like right now where it's just like really intense. And I am actually taking some allergy medicine now, so hopefully it was doing a really good job for a while, but then it seems like it's not doing as good of a job as it again. So I think there's a fire starter behind this rock. There is. He thought he could hide from us. He was wrong. Oh, I think I may have trapped that doe by mistake. Oops. So Angmar and Mordor also have this really interesting mechanic, though, that while you're in a fight, like when you defeat something, basically, one of the, like, you might get an extra enemy. A wraith could show up. And defeating those wraiths gives you some special currencies, which you can then trade in for a different, there's a whole reward system built in with that specific currency. So, and there's a couple of housing items that you can only get through that. So that was the reason why I started playing over on Mordor, because the other really interesting thing about those two new legendary servers, new as of last August, is that SSG is moving the servers. Well, those two were not in the place. They were not in the same place as all the other servers. So all the servers have for a while, 10 years maybe, been in the Boston area, which is where SSG is headquartered. But, I mean, really, when you get down to it, you don't need to be physically present with your server if you have, like, good people at that server farm or whatever who take care of stuff for you if somebody does need to go on site. But most of it's probably just done remotely anyway. So, anyway, so they had been, for a long time, had people saying, please, can we get servers back in Europe? Because apparently back in the Turbine days, early days of Lotro, when Turbine ran it, some of the servers were located in Europe and some of them were located in America. And they, people in Europe found that they were getting better performance, like response, ping time, that kind of thing. Would you say Osgiliath, I think? Osgiliath, yep, there it is. And so if it was located in Europe, the Europeans wanted Europe servers. So SSG had been for a long time saying, well, they couldn't really afford to maintain 2 server farms, but I'm guessing technology has, things change, right? Zoop. So, so the cool thing about Angmar and Mordor was that I think Angmar was located in Las Vegas, in that area, and Mordor is located in Europe, I think in the Netherlands, Rotterdam, Amsterdam, somewhere in that range, I think. So there was a bit of testing that to see, having servers in 2 different locations, is that manageable? Apparently it has gone well, because all the new 64-bit servers that they open that are just standard servers are also located in those 2 new places, so Las Vegas and the Netherlands. And then these 32-bit servers are still located in Boston area. I can't remember exactly where. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, hey, we have to interact with these flowers. And sometimes when we interact with these flowers, we get an enemy. But not in this case. I have touched the flowers. Thank you. Hey, Dr. Artfall is here. Says Angmar is still in Boston. Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was in Vegas. Much better ping for East Coasters. You get 20 to 30 from Angmar, but 60 for Peregrine and Glamdring. Howdy, yes, hello. How have you been? So yeah, I did start playing on Mordor because I wanted to get the housing items that are only available there. But after, I don't know, I played for like the first few months and I did get my characters. I have like 5 characters over there because, you know, alcoholics. And I got them up to like, well, 2 or 3 of them are up to level 50, which was the cap at the time. And then when we went up into Moria, I started working on 1 or 2 of them, but then I just kind of ran out of gumption. Oomph. I lost, my oomph was gone. Oh, somebody's asking a world about boxes. Yes. What's our neighborhood name? Whitwich. Whitwich in the Shire Homesteads. House is my window. There we go. All right, and you said Anun. Henneth of the Anuns. There we go. Yeah. Oh, we're turning in stuff. That's why we're here. So you can see how if you're doing these herbalist quests, you kind of end up with like a little bit of a route where you pick up a whole bunch of stuff and then you go around, you know, completing a little bit here, completing a little bit there, until you finally finish them off. Now there is, let's see, I'm going to take us back to Camp of the Host, right? So when you're done, I will do that. Okay. So we'll go back and talk to Gandalf and turn in that quest to him. And then we're going to pick up 2 other quests and run off to a different area to do those. Hi, Aragorn. Alright, I have talked to Mithrandir. So yeah, so once Angmar and Mordor opened up, a lot of people who excuse me, who were interested in playing on Treebeard because of the slow progression, or had been interested in Anor or Shadowfax, really, for that slow progression, really were interested in jumping over to Angmar and Mordor in order to enjoy that new enemy thing that can pop up. And then every so often, one of the 9 pops up. And so then, like, it becomes a server-wide activity, and everybody tries to get there, but there's, like, a max of 50 on the layer. So as many as 50 people can get to... Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Where did you say? Harandir. There we go. So they had to tweak that mechanic a number of times, SSG did, because, yeah, different things were happening, and so people were missing out, and so they know they were tweaking it to see to get enough people could participate, but I don't know, I got to a point where I was like, I don't think I'm going to worry about this anymore. So I've been spending. Well, then I was like spending a bunch of time trying to figure out where I wanted to send my characters once the new servers opened. Because around December, they were like, "Hey, we're going to open up some new servers at the beginning, early." Excuse me. Hang on a second. Yeah, they said they were going to open some new servers early in the year. And so everybody's like, "What?" Because they didn't announce the details at that time, so that was really funny. I don't know. Me, I was like, "Cool, they're going to open new servers sometime, early next year. When we find out the details, then I'll know what to do." But I was, once we got more information, I was like, "Okay, we're going to have a role play encouraged server on the EU side, one on the US side, and then we'll have a standard server on each of this, on the US side, and a standard server on the EU side, which is turned into two of each of those, by the way. Now there's two standard servers, two regular servers on the 64-bit. Yeah, talking about just about the 64-bit servers. That there's two regular servers and one roleplay encouraged server on each side. So one in the EU side, one on the US side, which is cool. Is Mornweed one of the ones you want to?
Yeah.
It's up on top. Okay. Did you get it? You're going for it.
It's just so much better.
Yeah, fair.
One week's 2 to 3, I have like 3 to 5.
I thought you were going to get it before he got back to you.
Yeah, so 2 to 3 versus 3 to 5 is just.
There. I'm collecting Haunt Reek, which is for the quest. Yeah, there's special vials that Phil is trying to collect for purposes of leveling with the various factions. So anyway, so once they sorted out, hey, there's gonna be this, there's gonna be that, and I was like, okay, which of my characters are going to which one, blah blah blah. As it turns out, I really just wanted them all to go to the role-playing server. So I did make like placeholder characters on most of the servers, but I don't know, at this point I'm not even sure if I need to. I'm just spending so much of my time either working on Treebeard stuff or over on Mariodoc, which is the EU roleplay server. And honestly, I'm really just settling in there. Like, I'm throwing down roots and buying a bunch of houses, and it feels, I felt like I was interested in consolidating, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel like I have done quite a bit of consolidating, and I'm pretty happy about it. To the point where I was looking the other day, because there are some servers from 2015 or so that are called the Dark Worlds because they went dark. They were closed. Oh, somebody's shooting at me. So if you had any characters still on there, you couldn't get them off. They were still there. And SSG has for years been trying to figure out how to get those opened in a way that people could then transfer those characters off, because they're not planning to open those servers again. But, people wanted to get their characters that were there off of those servers and onto other places. Oops. I may have caused trouble. Okay. So those are open right now. And if you go to the transfer wizard, you should be able to see if you have any characters, like it'll show you all the servers you have characters on. So I was like, cool, I did all my consolidation, I'm only on a couple servers. And then I looked and I'm on like 7 servers still. I'm like, are you kidding me? I thought I was done. Thought I got them all. It's because I got on new servers. Hey, continued culling is done. I have 11 out of 12 of the Haunt Reek. I did not. All right, we're gonna ride out of here. See, I like how my horse leaves behind these cute little. Let me see if we can get back on. There we go. These little stars on the ground behind it. Isn't that fun? Little sparkles. I like that. Sometimes Affodil's on the one that leaves watery prints, I think. You do that one? Yeah. Not today, but sometimes.
We were in Moria.
Yeah. Oh, we were in Moria. That's so funny. That's shortcut for we were in Moria doing some questing, and they can't use a regular mount in Moria, so we had switched to, goats or whatever, and yeah. That was just funny the way you said that. Oh, we were in Moria. I'm traveling and I'm all schlumpy. That's so funny. Skagosi! Do you recognize that reference? That's like, it's so funny. I think of movies as being like, all movies that I know, it was like, I don't know, that's like 5 years ago, right? I think, that's what, from Ants, I think? Or is that A Bug's Life? I forget which one that's from. I think it's A Bug's Life. And I think that's more than 5 years ago. All right, so there is off in the weeds over there or something, I think. More than 6, indeed. A not roving threat, the other one, Warman. That's the one that might drop the frog. So since we're out here collecting moss, oops, trying to break glasses. Yeah, since we're out here collecting moss, we just go ahead and pop over there and do that thing too. Well, that was overkill. I was working on a Heartseeker on that one. Yay, the person found our boxes. Awesome. We have, in our kinship neighborhood, we have the universal ingredient pack crates. We have one of each, and they're set to be open to everybody. So people can, yeah, just grab them. They're open to the public. Oh, how sad. A Bug's Life was in 1998. That's like 5 years ago, right? Yeah. I know. Yeah. Time has, like, really not a lot of meaning to me these days. I have no idea how long anything is anymore. Alright, we got all the things we needed from the blighted marsh lurkers. So we're good there. So we go through this thing where you gotta, you take the horse and you end up at that guy's camp where he was a little bit like, a little distracted and ended up going into some places where he shouldn't have gone. So that's where this is. So we go here. That's right. Thank you, Mikey Geek. Yeah, so that bedroll and all of this stuff. So we're in here and we're looking for that wandering threat thingy. Yes, Mikey Geek says time is an illusion, lunchtime doubly so.
We'll actually do 2 of them already.
Oh, we're going to do 2 in here. Okay. We're expanding our repertoire. For some reason, this reminds me of doing like, who's the little guy that just happened? The Treasure Boogan. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Treasure Boogan-y stuff. You know what's so funny about Hitchhiker's Guide is, so I read Hitchhiker's Guide as something as part of my growing up. Um, and before listened to the what was it, the BBC?
Yeah, the radio drama.
The radio drama, which I never did. So and that's like his reference point for a lot of the Hitchhiker's Guide stuff. So it's really funny because, like, coming from a reading perspective, I pronounce the names differently sometimes than the way he does, because he kind of came from an audio, reference point. And it's so funny how we both have this like shared thing of knowledge of Hitchhiker's Guide stuff, but yet the way it impressed on our minds was done in what appears to be very radically different ways, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, I need to go in more.
Yes, sounds of his childhood as opposed to words of my childhood, that kind of thing. All right, well, yeah, it's that way. Well, something's that way on the map. Sorsgor. The Bone Hunter? Oops, that's not him. That's a spirit. He looked at me funny. Hey, okay. So, I get a little blue box of dead marsh orc spoils.
Which has a 0% chance.
And it has a teeny percent chance, right? No, I got Amaroth silver pieces, marks, and medallions. Sorry. No frog. Oh, I think Bifor's going to try and find us the other one that's around here. 3 orc heads on a pike. Ugh. You picked that while we were out today? It's for a war steed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, how about this one? Blue box.
Aww.
Yeah, let's go to the other side of the marsh while we're at it.
Amaroth silver pieces, marks, and medallions. What if we had our horseshoes on? Would that make a difference?
Unspecified.
That would be funny. So here's a fun story, and I might get the details wrong anymore, but basically it was my 42nd birthday, and I had been working at a Comic-Con, and it was the end, and so we were having our volunteer party, and there was some swag, and I was having a little bit of a rough day, though, because it had been a long, I don't know. There had been a lot of things that happened at the convention, and I had worked really, really hard, and I had been promised some things, including food. And then we got to the end, and they're like, we just have regular food. And I'm like, but I had asked you for, gluten-free, something, anything, salad at minimum. And they're like, yeah, well, we just didn't do it. Okay, so now I'm like, I haven't eaten all day. And I have nothing to eat from you people. Like, it was a whole lot of things. But anyway, so it was my birthday, 42nd, and they had some swag. And there was a towel, and it said, "Don't panic" on it. And I was like, that is so cool. And so I was like, I would love to have that towel. That'd be so cool. But somebody else won it. I was like, fair enough. But she was a friend of mine, and she was like, hey, I want to give this to you for your birthday. So for my 42nd birthday, I got a towel that says "Don't Panic" on it, which made me really happy. I mean, what better? Like, that was just so cool. And I do know where my towel is. It's upstairs. Yes, we still have it. It was one of the things that, like, yeah, we were moving internationally, right? And you're like, you only really want to pack or take the things that you really are really important to you. And I was like, I want to take the towel. Oh, wow. We've got 1,088 still tokens. Oh, you've still got. I probably have less than that. I think I spent some. I have 701. This is why I want you to come and help me do things over on Marriott, because we get so many tokens of all this sort of stuff when Affidel helps me out with stuff. Because I just never get around to doing all these things by myself.
I mean, it's all this herbalism stuff. It's very good for steel tokens.
Yeah, doing the herbalism stuff, there was enough combat that we got a lot of steel tokens during the anniversary festival. I went and spent a bunch of them and bought some various things that I'm going to send. We can still transfer off of Treebird for free right now because with the new 64-bit servers, they're offering free transfers until like August, till the end of August, I believe. So I'm planning on transferring off somebody from Treebeard, maybe more than one, and then have them mule over a bunch of stuff for me over to Marriott. So I've got like a whole care package of stuff set aside. Let me see if I can pull it up. So I've got like, yeah, Gleowine's harp. I'm going to send that over because I don't have that. Like some decorations that I'm not using over here, but I could definitely use over there, even though I'm like way overburdened with stuff over there too, which next time carryalls go on sale, I'm going to buy another housing carryall, maybe 2 or 3. I have a lot of stuff. But then, yeah, some tomes. But then I got some of the Baker's Delight fireworks with the steel tokens. So I'm sending those over. And some of the simple carrying torches. Those you could also buy with the steel tokens. So I got a bunch of those too. And I'm just going to send all of those over. Oh, yeah, this Guise of Gandalf the Grey. I must have bought it for Rosenbloom. But it's bound to account. So I'm going to send it over to my Rosenbloom on the other side. I think that'll be awesome. I got a remote quest. A warband, the Taskmaster. The New Zealand Taskmaster. I haven't watched anything but the British version, I think. Oh, nice. Yeah, I recently started watching some of the Taskmaster British one because they've got a guy on there who was he was in The Good Place, and he's so funny. Jason is his name. He's the guy that played Derek. So, all right, let's check this box. What we got? What do we get? I got marks and celebrant solves and marks. Mark. Oh, but hey, I got some of these baskets. So these baskets, these forager baskets, you open it and you get a whole bunch of vials of these different extracts. So that's why we've been doing this, so we could get a bunch of these things. Do you want me to take us somewhere? Should I go back to camp with the host? Slag Hills. Don't we have to turn these in?
Oh, yeah. Heron Deer.
Guide, yeah, that's what I meant. Heron Deer? Cool. Are you sure? Well, he knows. Yeah, it's very... Oh, we have to do the braziers thing. That's why we're here. I guess I don't need to be mounted up. We went and collected... Whatever it was that we collected. Oh, the moss or whatever off of the tall walkie guys. And now we have to burn it in these braziers. Oh no, this is the haunt reek.
Yeah. We delivered the tangled moss straight up.
Oh, the tangled moss just got directly... Okay, we're burning the haunt reek. That makes it... because then the bad guys in the area think the place is haunted. Because it smells haunted or whatever. So that's why we're burning it over here. Apparently it doesn't bug the rangers who are here. All right, and then we turn in one of the quests of this guy. Cool. Now we go to Camp of the Host. Guide 2, yes. Maybe an essence carry-all too. I don't want to collect essences though. That's the problem. I don't want to have them. I want them to go away. Like, if I get something that needs an essence, I'm going to put the essence on it and be done with it. I know that's probably not how you're supposed to play this game, but I don't want to collect essences. But if you don't have the essences to put on it, then I don't use it. Or I use it if it's better without the essences. Usually, if you're questing in an area that's going to give you essence gear, it's going to give you essences too.
You keep throwing them away.
Well, not right away. Alright, now we've turned in the other moss quest. So now we have all of these baskets that we're gonna open up. I guess, you know what would be useful, honey? Show me where what we do with these, all these vials of extract.
Sure. Okay. So
Where do we go? Is it here?
the first time we encountered it is Hen at the Noon. So chronologically, let's go there.
Okay, so we're gonna pop over to Hen at the Noon. It's so funny. At one point, for quite a few years, we had a roommate named Henna. And so when we go to Hen at the Noon, I think of her.
So
So we want to go up the ramp
around there are a
and
couple
talk to somebody.
of
Telerian points out that an essence carryall will also collect traceries, which I also don't want to collect. All these things I don't want. Is it these guys?
Okay, so there's this cluster of 3, and you'll find these replicated in other places as well.
Okay. Oh, not that. Yeah, maybe. No, this is silver pieces.
So
Not.
the quartermaster doesn't care about the essences.
Okay, that person we don't want to talk to.
The
Oh, the
herbalist-
herbalist and the herb master
the
probably do.
herbalist level 1. The first thing they can do is give you cool versions.
Okay.
Ultra rares.
So these that I've been getting, like the crimson and the verdant and the umber, they're kind of like your commons. And then the amber and the sapphire are the more rare ones. They're harder to get.
Yeah.
So I could trade in like, you know, those, but at a rate of like 125 or 250 for one of the rares.
Now,
So that's a
with your-
big
with your
deal.
Fateful toolkit, you would probably get 2, but it still is pretty rough rate.
Might get 2 with the Fateful Toolkit. That's interesting. If you do that, let me know.
Yeah, I won't.
Before's like, I won't do that.
And you can also get some equipment out of the fancy.
Now you could buy a forger's basket and take a risk, because you might get one of the rare ones out of it.
Yeah.
That only costs 30. Yeah. So there's some armor stuff here.
Yeah, and these are ones with lots of essence slots.
Of course, they have a ton of essence slots.
So if you have the essences for it, these can probably be more fine-tuned for your character
Yeah.
than whatever other armor, because you get to choose
Fair.
all the stuff.
So you probably can't hear what he's saying, but Before's saying, but basically, these are nice for fine tuning stuff to your character. So you could get, put in the agility or the critical rating or whatever it is that makes you happy in the way that you play your character. Because they have so many essence slots.
One thing that is true for my minstrel is I'm way overblown my tactical mastery rating.
Mm.
So if I could change that out to something else like finesse, that would be better.
Let's see, and then we've got some jewelry. And then we get into the housing items. So we've got like a dull amaranth gazebo, myrtle tree, juniper tree, potted golden mallows. The elven screen is something I actually want at some point. I think they're cool looking, although I don't have any specific places where I want to use those in decorating, but I think they're cool. Potted lilies, ash tree, memorial pyre. Is that the one that lights up? It says maybe lit to commemorate those who fell at Pelennor. That one's really cool. I've seen that as a housing item, and that's really neat. Let's see, we've got the Gondorian army tent, bush tree, statue, trophy, Belfast theme. If that's the same as the one that you could buy in Belvalas, this seems expensive. Tome of the Red Squirrel, Tome of the Athelian Fox. Got those. And then check out these cute little... This is the Athelian outfit. Like, you can get this cute little shoulder thing and cape and a little mask. Isn't that adorable? Let's see what we got. We got another cape. Sorry, cloak. Oh, the hat of the mushroom hunter is a cosmetic item that I see people wearing, and it's really fun. And sometimes they wear it with this foraging pack, which also has a bunch of like glowing mushrooms in it. So that's really fun. Now, now there's all these journals. And before was talking to me about this the other day, that basically you have a character who's got their crafting up to, is it Doomfold or is it higher? What level?
It's a Norian crafting.
Oh, it's in Anorian. Oh. Oh, but this is Forester. That's... Yeah, it would have to be under Taylor, which I'm not that high. Okay, I can't show you on this character. But basically, in the Anorian section...
Where are you in Taylor?
Pretty lower, like Westfold.
Okay. I was going to say, we could plow through there with universals.
Anyway, so then there'll be a category here that is... allows you to then use these journals that you buy with the vials and with some ingredients that you find on the ground here, like I found some logs. Yeah, these bundles of reclaimed Athelian lumber. You use that with like the journal for lumbering or whatever, and then you get reputation items that you can then nom or whatever, and that helps you to increase your reputation. Because as it turns out, when it comes to reputation for, was it Camp of the Host? No. Host of the West. So there's Host of the West, just the main faction. But then kind of like over in Dol Amroth, they've got extras. They're just extra. So we've got Host of the West provisions, weapons, and armor. So you're like helping them, prepare for the upcoming battle and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that they want. So it helps doing all those other things with the journals and whatnot, allows you to work on these other factions. So it's a long haul to finish all of that. So that's why we're doing a bunch of this stuff. Oh, this guy sells essences. So to probably put in those outfits. Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff here too. Anyway, so that's why we keep rolling around and getting these, getting those baskets. There's also a pouch of Athelian essence fragments. It contains at least one fragment of an Athelian essence. May also contain a scrap from a reclamation scroll. So I have 2 Athelian essence fragments that came out of that, and those in my wallet. You can use those to like then get other, craft essences, I guess. Yeah, there we are. So I have 59 fragments. Oh, that's probably with this guy, isn't it? That's what that was. I can get an essence box with those fragments. And then I'm guessing inside that essence box is a selection. Yeah, it's a selection box for 105. So here's the reason, another reason why I don't want to collect essences, because like if I'm collecting anything now, these guys want to give me 105 stuff, but I'm 109. So I'm assuming that the stuff that I'm getting will be, of that level, the landscape stuff. So, I don't know. So that's where my tug and pull in this stuff is. So, Talarian, you're asking me about, do I not need stuff on my current character? The current stuff that I have on my character with the legendary items is, for example, I'm pretty sure I have, let's see, maximum level 115, minimum level 101. I don't think we can get any higher than that right now because I think we're not to the next tier yet. So really, I'm just working on update, maxing out these spots, and I kind of forgot about those. So I might have some more of those. Excuse me, LI enhancement runes, but the ones that are actually in here, the traceries, I think they're all, and they're all, most of them are like the highest tier, the gold. And if they're not gold, then they're the next highest tier, which is like the one that gives you 60 ancient script, like the blue, teal, whatever this color is. So everything is either teal or gold, and I don't think I can get any higher level at this point. So if it's not teal or gold, I'm not interested. And my ancient script, I keep ending up overflowing with that too. I'm currently at 8,000, but I think I have a character that is holding probably another 30,000 worth of ancient script, so, or amongst maybe a couple of my characters at this point. So I've got plenty of ancient script if I ever want to buy anything, but it's really those tokens that are the key to it, because the tokens, let you get the better stuff. So I've got a tracery token, incomparable, but that's level 50, so that's not going to be worth anything. I should have gotten something from the festival. I may have packed it away already. So, or it's down here. Oh, that's the water buffalo family. Oh yeah, there we go. Enhancement rune legendary. I could open that up and see if that's better than any of the 60s that I currently still have. Armor of the reminiscing dragon. So yeah, it's so ever so often before, and I will go through all my stuff. But I'm happy with having 60s and 80s. I don't like. There's nothing. Yeah. So every so often, when we get to the next tier, we'll have those tracery tokens, and I'll just chew through those to get out as many 80s as I can. Well, I'll open the boxes, the tracery boxes that are of that level, right, and see if I get any of the good stuff. But then if I don't, then I'll use the tokens to buy the 80s, and then finish it off with tokens to buy whatever I can for the 60s, and then I'm done. So I don't feel a need to hold on to a lot of the tracery stuff, because this character's all kitted out, and then so are a number of my alt characters already as well, because I just have so much ancient script. Hi, buddy. He was outside. Yes, you were. I don't know. I guess part of it too is like I don't really want to. Like, I already have inventory issues, and I don't want to keep adding more and more stuff to have to collect when I can just get rid of it. The only ones I can't get rid of are the ones that are bound to my account. Traceries. And those I have to hang on to until I use them or ditch them. So I end up kind of hanging on to some of those, I guess, until we, like, get somewhere with them. But I guess I don't have any right now. We must have gone through it recently, though. So that's why we're collecting all these these vials of stuff off the ground and in the baskets. Hi. Castor's being very affectionate. But you're doing it off camera, which is such a shame. I could pick him up, but he really just wants me to scratch his face.
Pick him up while scratching his face.
I don't know how well that would go, and he does have thick claws. He had a big yawn. Hey, just wondering, what are you working on today before on your stream?
Probably the Herbalism plugin.
Oh, before's been playing around with he's sitting on my escape button, that's why. Before's been working on an Herbalism plugin to help out, so when you're out in the world and trying to find a specific thing, like the gold ones or something, you could hover over the herbally thing you see on the ground, and it'll tell you what's likely to be in it. All right, well, That's all I had planned to do. I know. I'm like, I'm done. It's an hour and a half in. Or I could turn it over to you.
I'll need a few minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. We could do that. Oh, should I trade stuff to you?
Sure.
Okay, cool. This is another way I manage my inventories. I just give everything over to Affodil. Everybody should have an Affodil for inventory management. Eventually, when I need this stuff, if I ever need stuff back, I just ask for it back. Like sometimes I'll go through my characters and be doing task boards in order, because task boards will give you reputation stuff. In fact, honey, after I give you all this stuff, will you trade me back some task board stuff? Yeah, he's got the carry-alls for all this.
So we can figure out.
Yes, the handy before carry-all. What's that? Go back to housing?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I have carry-alls as well. Now I'm kind of curious. So we'll take a look here. How many do I have? Well, I'll take a look here in a minute. But first, let's grab some task board stuff for me. Oh yeah, so this unwelcome mat. They have unwelcome mats like that, but one for each one of the different different of the 9, and that's what you can get over on Angmar and Mordor servers, which is a cool idea. But I don't feel that strongly about having a.
Alright, which faction are you working at?
Ooh, that's a good question. Camp of the Host? Host of the West? That's what I mean. Or what?
How are you with Riders of Rohan? Have you finished them?
Riders of Rohan is not complete. That's true. Good work on Riders of Rohan. Hi. There's Casper. You almost got your face on screen. You're so close, buddy. They've been a little out of sorts because the house has been invaded by a handy person for the last few days, and so there's been noise and stuff, and doors opening and closing that are not typically opened and closed, and all of that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I should find 105. Okay, cool. And I'm working on Riders of Rohan. Cool. I'll work on this. Thank you. So here's a cool thing, is these shattered spears that he just gave me. Hi. You're so funny. So I could go to the... Yeah, nobody's paying attention to me, right? Everybody's just looking at the cat. Yeah, well, you are cute. Yes, you are. Yeah, see, he's just like, oh, rub my face. He's been sneezing too sometimes, which is really funny. So I think he's getting extra scritches because maybe it feels good on his like little kitty sinuses. Well, he has thick claws, so I have to be careful and not let him make biscuits on my lap because it just goes right through whatever blankets and whatnot I have over me to protect me from kitty claws. It goes right through. Yes, you do. You go right through it.
Just inspire you to grow thicker skin.
Inspire me to grow thicker skin. Somehow I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. Yes, the handy before carry-all. He is pretty handy. Oh goodness, you can hear him purring a little maybe. Yeah, that's you. You sweet boy. Okay, so what you can do is if you do task board items and you're doing it like at a level above the level of which you get your legendary items, you'll get legendary item experience as a part of the other stuff you get. So like increased reputation, legendary item experience, that's what I'm after. So that's why I'm interested in doing these quests. Like if I were to look at this sort of thing. It's still also like back down here in level 50 stuff. Excuse me. I'd still get reputation with Iron Garrison Guards, which is, we're talking level 50 something, and legendary item experience. But I don't think I would get anywhere near as much as I would from doing things closer to on level. So that's why it's kind of handy to do stuff that's close to where I'm at. So you just pick it up, and then you turn it into the box down by your feet. So this is why it was really frustrating over on the new 64-bit servers when we couldn't get housing, because this is one of the ways I get legendary item experience. Excuse me. Is by doing task boards, and there were no task boards in the neighborhood. Well, we couldn't. Well, I suppose the task boards were in the neighborhood, but you couldn't get into the neighborhood very easily. So that was like chaos for me. Chaos, I tell you. Oh, which reminds me though, and yeah, Skagosi says, handsome kitty. Yes, you are. You are a handsome boy. He really is. There's times when he's just sitting there and I just look at him and I'm like, man, you're just such a good looking cat. Here you are, buddy. He's very happy. He's so settled. He's so comfortable. He barely, like when we first got him, like the slightest noise and he would kind of freak out and run off. But now he is much more calm. I mean, I'm not saying that things don't still startle him. They definitely do. But, get the vacuum out and boy, he out of there quickly. Very quickly. Yes, you do. You do run off quickly if you see a vacuum cleaner, don't you? Or you hear it. Not a fan. Mr. Not a fan. Yes, I don't need to have that open at the moment. I know I'm going. Shattered Spears. Turn it in. Oh, hey, I can show you all actually how far this is working. Oops, not that one. That one. So here's the reward track. Let me scooch it a smidge. And here's where we are. So when I turn in the quest, when I finish it, look at how far the little bar goes. I mean, it is visible, which is pretty neat. Yes, it is, buddy. So this is definitely a productive way to get legendary item experience, crazy enough. And then if you do it with all of your characters, because you can do this with each one of your characters who has their legendaries already, as long as you can get some task board stuff for them, you can, this is a good way to get it. You just have to remember to do it. Sometimes I forget. And especially like over here on Treebeard right now, I have so many characters. It's a little overwhelming to remember who's got the stuff and who doesn't and all of that. So sometimes every so often, like before and I will do a round where he just gives me a bunch of task stuff for each of the characters and then I can just roll through each of my characters and do it. So I was going to take a quick look though, because I can't remember how many carryalls. I was kind of curious, how many carryalls do I have? Yes. Now here's something I noticed is, so you can rename your carryalls. If you don't have the word carryall in it anymore, it won't come up when you search for carryall.
But you can do by category instead.
Oh, but you could do by category instead. Like what, filter? Like that?
Yeah, the filter should be carryall.
Oh, there's a filter for carryall. Well, heck. That's cool. I didn't know that.
I mean, it feels harder somehow than typing it, but...
Well, no, but that's good because sometimes I've renamed some of my stuff. What's that?
I have so many.
B4 has way more than I do, actually. I think. I don't know. Does it tell me? Does it give me a count here? No, I guess it doesn't. Hey, Valestra says hello. Good evening. Hello to you. We've been entertaining a cat, and now I'm just kind of curious, how many carryalls do I have? 34 on the server. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I only have 16 on this server, and you have 34. And you have an unused selection box. That's funny.
Not sure what I need it for.
Yeah, that's a good, interesting question. I didn't know you had this carryall filter. That's so cool. Oh, I should make sure I don't have any on my person. No, I don't think I do. Over on Marriott Hawk, occasionally I forget and I keep them, they end up on my person and I forget to, well, I don't always put them back into the shared storage because I'm on one character almost all the time over there and not often am I on other characters. So, not anywhere near as often. So they do tend to kind of pile up on rows. I try to remember to grab them from time to time. But I was wondering if maybe I would send. Well, I don't need to send the anniversary cake, but the water buffalo family. No, I probably got that over there. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that here or send it over. Well, we'll come back to that. I know, right? And I think I actually have an unused selection box somewhere also. I really should dig that out. Yeah. Because if that's the case, that would be really useful to have that over on Meridoc. Because I really need more housing carryalls on Meridoc. I have a lot of stuff. So the problem is, so here my housing stuff. Oh, I could use one over here too. This is all the extra stuff that doesn't fit in my carryalls, my housing carryalls. Wait, I only have 2 housing carryalls here. Well, that could be part of the problem. Sorry. Over on Mary, I have like 4, but I really could do with another more. So I had, part of the reason is Mary has all the stuff that I had over on Laurelin and all the stuff I had over on Evernight. And my plan was to send, I have a character on Evernight that was, gosh, where did the tides came from the Bombadil server. So that's like 2020. And then after that was done, we moved them to Evernight. And so over on Evernight, we were running around with some other folks. And one in particular, we were doing a lot of stuff with her. And so we got really far and we went through like Wildemore and like we did a lot of fun stuff. And so those characters made their way to some, further on than just like Bree and the Shire and stuff. Because it seems like a lot of characters like stall out around Moria, and then a lot of times you kind of stall out around Rohan. You know what I mean? Like it seems like you hit these parts where you just like it slows you down for a bit, and you just don't get back to it. So yeah, so it was really great that we got our characters through some of those kind of some of those humps, and so those are kind of like more pew pew characters. So our thinking was, okay, we'll go to whichever server she goes to, and then we can keep playing with her. But we don't really get into the pew pew stuff as often anymore. And if we're going to do any of that, we'll probably do it on Treebeard. So sending those characters somewhere, it was like, well, where are they going to go? So in my haste, at one point, I was sending all of my characters over to Meriadoc. And I had sent the characters I wanted to Meriadoc from Evernight. And then I had 2 that were going to go over to the other way. We're going to go over to Orcrist. But Orcrist was closed for a while. So I was like, oh, I'll just send them over to Mary for now. I don't know what I was thinking. Because all the stuff I had set aside that was going with the elf to Orcrist now is over on Meriadoc. And so all of my housing storage was like well over capacity. Because it did not fit in her stuff. Like she was going to take stuff with her. Anyway, so that was kind of silly. And I ended up with way too much stuff over there. And so now I'm like, well, do I even bother sending her to Orcrist? Because Orcrist is always full. Or do I send her to Sting? But I'm not even sure if that's needed. And maybe I just leave her on Mary. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing with that character. And Before's partner to that character is still sitting over on Evernight. So anyway, so all of my stuff from Evernight and all of my stuff from Laurelin ended up over on Meriadoc. And so I've got some of it like set aside to go with the elf wherever she goes. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe I don't bother sending her anywhere and just leave her on Meriadoc. And then Elven Housing will open. So then I just, use her to buy an Elven house, perhaps. or one of my elf characters. And then all the elven stuff I have for her that I had set aside for her. And there's kind of some elven stuff and some Rohan stuff. Because I had tried to set up like a parkour thing at, I bought a meat hall in Rohan. And so I tried to set up a parkour course. And some of the Rohan like shelving units and stuff like that were really fun for that. But now I'm like, I have all these Rohan shelving units, and I'm not really big into the Rohan aesthetic. So, and I think they're all bound. So I'm not sure what to do with them. I mean, it's so funny because I moved everything, and then now going through it, I'm like, there's some wall textures or floor textures, and I'm like, I don't even like those. Why did I bring those? Or, oh yeah, or the, so in a mead hall, and also in the house in Lindleby, you can put down, there's a hook called a fire pit. So it only takes a very specific kind of decorating. Well, actually, the fire pit hooks will take anything now. Let me see, do I have, yeah, I have a Lindleby house. Yeah, let's pop over there real quick. So there's a, yeah, so there's a fire pit hook in Lindleby house homesteads and in the Rohan homesteads. And there's 4 carryalls that were also not included in those numbers. That's really funny. So before has 38 carryalls on Treebeard. That is crazy. That's a lot, honey. That's wild. When they go on sale, though, it is kind of hard to say no. And or if they do like those, you know, percentage off coupons and stuff like that. Oh, I'd forgotten about that's where this ended up. So, gosh, did I just not decorate this house? That's hilarious. I've been decorating over on Laurelyn and now Mary, so I guess that's it. So anyway, you've got this really long thing here called the fire pit. So that's this whole space here. And you can put, I mean, any kind of housing item in it that you can, like, yeah, it's saying I could put, like, this table in it. So, you know, boom, I just put a table in the middle of this fire pit. Or I could put a keg in the middle of this fire pit. So but it takes up the whole, like that. It's only that. There are some housing items called fire pit items, and they basically will be like a table, but it's like the same table duplicated over and over through there, or with slight variations from one table to the next, and it takes up the whole space. It goes like from there to here to here to here to here to there to there. They have some versions that have fire, stuff like that. But for a Hobbit house, it doesn't really look quite. It just looks out of place. It looks weird, and so I generally haven't been using the fire pit decorations. I've been just using the hook and putting something else in the space. So it's just like it's just one more hook, but it's not really, you know, accommodating all the space that it could do. There we go. We have a dining table in the middle of the room. Before says they're my biggest quality of life improvement, the fantasy where I can store everything. Which is why I just give him my essences. If they're not bound to me, I just pile them up with him, because then I'm like, if I need an essence, it will be like, you know, he'll be like, you want this kind. I'm like, cool. And then I get it. Or I don't have any, and then I don't use it, and that's fine too. Yeah, this room I did some of the snowy stuff. I love this wallpaper. Hang on a second. Sorry. This wall surface, it's called Snowy Evening Walls, and it came out this last year. It's so gorgeous. I love the little villagey stuff and all of that. So pretty. And it does adjust with the wall color that you do. Because normally I'll do, for the holidays, I'll do something like this one. Or, now this one is my favorite for just general everyday use, is this one with the trees. And then you can put colors with it. So you can adjust the way it looks. I love that one. I think I stocked up on like 15 extras just to keep me going last time. Oh, the mushroom walls. These are a recent addition, and they're so cute. I love all these little, look at all these little mushrooms as part of the wallpaper. So cute. And then you can get, this is a freestanding wall, a decorative wall. So I lined it up, or I tried to. The problem is the border is bigger, so this border doesn't, it's fatter, it's wider than the other one. So it doesn't quite match up, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, the idea is there. I was wondering what I knew I had seen Mushroom Hunters. So, oh yeah, so check this out. So here I've got like the wallpaper, but with a pink paint. Same thing here, but I've added some lighting, and so it's like making it a little funky. Here's a freestanding wall. So this is what it looks like without any paint at all. It just has the kind of the relief there, but it doesn't stick out. Whereas once you get some color on it, it starts to stick out a little bit more. So there's the pink, but check this out. If you do like a brown, it really makes it super dark, which is really fascinating. It changes the look of it completely. Like I think this is like a rust or a burnt orange or that kind of a color. I mean, just the difference between the different. So like, there's 3 different colors here actually. So that's I think brown. I think that's the rust, and then this is, it's not called pink. It's called something else. But yeah, so cool. Yeah, you never have enough Skagosi of the carryalls. I understand. Well, I definitely need more housing ones. So now I do have 4 housing ones over on Meriadoc. Because my idea is that to have them each named differently, that helps me kind of, keep things separate. So like I've got one for holiday stuff. I've got one that is like all those things that you get when you've bought an expansion, and they give you a housing item for every time you make a new character. So like, oh, that's not it. The cloak rack and the Hobbit cupboard, those are new. Those are from a questing. But more like, oh, I can't put that there. I don't have room. Oh, this is overfull. I forgot about that. Like there's the Lindleby, not Lindleby, but what was that? The one with the River Hobbit. There's a River Hobbit like portrait set. Do I have that up in here? Oh yeah, the River Folk hearth. Like that comes with each one of yours, and there's like a bed. So there's like a whole little set of furniture that you get. Oh, there's a tapestry also. I don't think I have it in here. I don't have it on in here. I love how the fires, you can turn them on. So like there's this whole set of river folk housing furniture that you can get, and each one of your characters gets it when you create a new character, or like actually just after you bought it, then every character who logs in after that, they have it in their inventory. So I have a carry-all to put those things into, so that way the characters don't have to hang on to them if they've opened them or anything. They can just automatically go into that other carry-all. Then I've got one carry-all for like the wallpaper and the wall colors and the lighting. And then I think I have a 4th one that's just kind of like stuff that doesn't fit any of those other categories. And then I also have in my shared storage, though, I had some categories, not this server, but over on Mary, where it's like, listen, that'd be in the festival stuff, but like trees. I just have a category that's just trees. All the trees go there, stuff like that. Music is in one of the bags. I can't remember which one. So yeah, so all of these holiday things I've started putting into a separate thing, and that kind of makes it handy. Maybe I should put one of these pine trees here. Maybe in this room. Maybe just throw down a pine tree in this room. Because it's so funny. I didn't realize I hadn't decorated this house very well. I tell you, I have so much decorating to do over on Mary. It's crazy. Hopefully I can get it done and then get some more done in the next few months. I did kind of like figure out each house has a bit of a flavor, a theme, like that kind of thing. So like all of my Yule stuff is at, I have a Rohan house, and so all of my Yule stuff, oops, that's not what I meant to do, is at the Rohan house, and I'm making it into just a whole like holiday house. And so like outside there's snow falling for the ambient environment, and yeah, and inside it's all this. I will have to look though to see if I have this over on Mary, because if not, I might send this over. This is good stuff. I love this little skating rink looking idea. That's so fun. It's a flooring, I believe. Let's double check that. Yeah, I think it's the floor surface. Yeah, it is. It is. Icy stone floor. And so you can put that, like if I put that down in here, this is actually three separate, or it's two separate floors. So it would either take up the whole center, or it would take the two edges, this side and this side. But that might be fun. I'd have to check the Rohan house because it doesn't have that same just differentiation. Yeah, yeah. Before, if they came out with a carry-all for carry-alls, one to put all your carry-alls in, you'd probably get one. That's a funny idea. Yeah? Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up here then. Join us next time for, I don't know what, probably more herbalism stuff, because we're trying to just like get a whole bunch of herbalist stuff. But we'll see. And yeah, thank you guys for coming along today. I should be here next week. I know there's been a couple weeks recently where I haven't, because of like allergies, or there was a conflict, and you know, it's been, yeah, exactly. There's been chaos and stuff, but it's okay. So there, over the next few months, there'll be some weeks that I'm on and some weeks that I'm not. I'll try to remember to post it like in the Discord or on my social media, or both, if I'm not gonna be on. So if I am, if you don't see anything or hear anything, I'm probably streaming that day. So there we go. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. B4 is coming on next, and he'll be working on a plugin about the herbalism stuff that we were just doing. So enjoy that, and I will see you hopefully all next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.